Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I just wanted to make a specific video for the online class, which is 1033, section 833. And this is specifically for you guys because it's probably something that I should have done for this past summer class as well. Just so that you guys know what you guys are here for, and what, how you can get help from me, and what's expected of me and what's expected of you. Okay, so the online course, if you notice that the description is here from the FSW website, it says that online courses are courses where instruction occurs via Canvas or an equivalent learning platform. So you actually have two platforms. So in other words, you're actually learning from Canvas and from MyLabs Plus. Okay, so those are your two. All right, so faculty and student may never meet face-to-face. Well, that's up to you. If you want to meet face-to-face, you're welcome to do that via Zoom. So if you guys, let's say, have a question and it's before, 8 p.m., I have no problems with sitting down with you and explaining things to you. On my iPad, we can Zoom. You don't even have to see my ugly mug. You can just Zoom with me, and then I'll just actually, you'll just see my tablet and you'll see everything written out. You can ask questions if you want to. So you're welcome to do that for sure. Okay, that will be the time that you can meet face to face. Again, it is up to you. If you decide to use my office hours, and if you decide to say, hey, do you have some time to Zoom with me? Okay, so if you ask, chances are I will make sure that I'll get back to you. If I'm driving or something, I'll be like, hey, could I hit you back when I get home so that I can actually do this with you, okay? So it says instruction is asynchronous and no classroom is assigned. So right now when you look in your portal, you don't see a classroom assignment in there. You don't see times and dates set in there, or days, I should say, and a time set in there, because this is an online course. So this is really kind of on your own. Whenever you guys want to, learn, you learn. Whenever you guys want to not learn, is up to you as well, okay? And notice that the technology that is required here, obviously your laptop or desktop that's up to date, internet connection, and also an external webcam with a mic, okay? The external webcam is, again, this is from the school's website. This is something that's required from the school itself. It's not, this doesn't say Jimmy Chan's website and Jimmy Chan requires this. It is FSW that requires this, okay? And I'll explain to you the external webcam, okay? So let's talk about this word asynchronous. So most of you guys don't know what asynchronous means. So let's talk about what synchronous would mean after the A, I should say. So synchronous is what my live class would be like, okay? So synchronous is where half the students will be on live webinar, video conferencing / video classroom via Zoom. So they are going to actually be in my class via Zoom at home, watching me teach, and then asking those questions live as well. And then the other half, the students will be in class, sitting there at certain class time during the days, either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, in class, watching me teach as well, okay? So that's synchronous. So asynchronous means that you are learning from pre-recorded videos or lessons or webinars, okay? And this, I would call this online discussion, not even boards, just online discussion. So you can ask questions via email, Canvas message, or via Zoom, okay? We'll call those as online discussions, all right? So, but everything is kind of like on your own. So what does it take? So here is another chart here that talks about the difference between synchronous versus asynchronous. And asynchronous is where you guys are, okay? So asynchronous, the pros of it, it is more flexible. So you can decide when class time is for you. So it could be 6 a.m. It could be 8 p.m. It's whenever is convenient for you. So you don't have a, you can make it as Monday, Tuesday. You can make it as Tuesday, Wednesday. You can make it as Tuesday, Friday. Whatever you guys want to do as class time, okay? So you guys kind of have to play around with class time versus homework time, all right? So, and then the other part of it is cost efficient because you don't have to drive to school every other day, okay? So it is somewhat cost efficient. The cons of it is the fact that you're gonna feel somewhat isolated because you're gonna be sitting there going, man, I haven't seen Chan at all. You know, I feel like that he's ignoring me, that, you know, it's almost like if I cancel class every single time you're supposed to go to class, but yet you're supposed to pass this class. So it's gonna feel that way, but that's all up to you. So you're welcome to start a message on the discussion board. And that's the reason why I left the tab for people on there so that you can actually contact people and say, hey, do you want to start a study group? Because that might help. Or look at the people and go, oh, I know these couple of people. Let me contact them and see if they want to at least study together, right? Obviously not to do the exams together, but to study together. Okay. And then the biggest part is that learners need to be self-disciplined and motivated to complete the course. Okay. And that's huge because it's very easy when you're sitting at home trying to get homework done and you're like, well, I could do my laundry. I could clean the house. I could do a whole 100 other things besides doing math. And even better, you're like, ooh, this, you know, there's new episodes on Netflix, so let's watch the show instead. Or social media. You guys can do all those things and get yourself distracted so far that you can't get anything done. So you're gonna have to be self-disciplined and maybe put a timer on the clock and say, okay, I'm gonna focus on math for 20 minutes and then next timer, 5 minutes, I can go on social media. All right, that's ended. I gotta go back to my work for 20 minutes and now again, another 5 minutes on social media. Same thing with texting and stuff like that and phone calls, call them back in 20 minutes. That's fine. You got 5 minutes to, you know, tell them, hey, I got 5 minutes to talk and then I got to get back to work, right? You got to be disciplined in that way. Another thing that I've also suggested is to move your office out of your bedroom and maybe shut the bedroom door and put a post-it note saying, these are the things I have to get done before I can walk into the bedroom and go to bed or go lay down or do whatever, all right? So those are some of the tactics. If you need other tactics, please feel free, contact me, let me know. And I'm more than willing to help you guys out as much as I can, okay? So the other part of it is that on FSW's website, there are tools that you guys can kind of get into. So to get to this website, it is fsw.edu/e-learning, okay? fsw.edu/e-learning. You'll get to this website here, all right? So there's a couple of places that you can click. One is under students. It'll give you a bunch of tools that you guys can get some support, no matter if it is, you know, whatever it might be. So if I click on this, it'll open up another page and it looks like a Canvas page and it gives you like a information station, right? A tour through Canvas, a checklist for you and all that stuff, okay? And then down here, there's an online readiness survey. So you can click on the survey and the survey is gonna even tell you saying, hey, just so you understand that being online students, you're gonna have good time management skills. You're gonna have to have personal responsibility. So what you don't get done, it's really up to you. It's not because Jimmy did it. I didn't do anything to you, right? You gotta have some technical skills, right? To try to troubleshoot. And obviously there is help with that as well in different places. And then you gotta have good study habits, right? Here's the so-called survey. You can take that survey and then there is also an online readiness course that you can go through to kind of help you out a little bit. But again, if you need some strategies, feel free to let me know and I can come up with some strategies with you, all right? Let me see here. All right, so question is, where do you start? So when you go into Canvas and you click on our course, you're gonna see this is what's gonna show up. And I have this on student view, so you're actually seeing what you would be seeing, okay? So you don't have a lot of items over here on the left side, right? There's people, so that you can actually click on it and see who's in your class, right? And then you also can get into Zoom from here if you wanted to. You don't have to go through it with Canvas, but you can, all right? But there's two places to start. So it's gonna get you here, all right, with my ugly mug. And, oops, what did I just do? I just did something. Yeah, that's why I saw it. Okay. So you can either, let me just click home, hold on. So you can either start here if you want to. So from the home page, when you scroll down, you'll see start here. You can click on that if you want to, all right? And notice it says start here, course overview. You can also just jump right into the modules, and the first thing you're gonna see on top is course overview. So it's gonna end up being in the same exact spot no matter which one you click. So if I click on course overview, that's gonna be the first thing you're gonna look at. I need to fix that right there. But anyways, it'll go through some of the Canvas, you know, what is it called? Navigation menus, okay? Learning outcomes, and here's the breakdown of your grades, all right? So over here, it tells you how quickly I can get back to you in terms of when you get your homework done at My Life Plus. Well, that's instant, because once you hit submit, you're gonna know if you're right or wrong. Lab work is gonna be, I want you guys to understand, notice how it says less than 48 hours after the due date, okay? So lab work, exams, and final exams, all three of those are gonna be assigned through Canvas. Any assignments I assign through Canvas, you will have a week to do it. So meaning it will open at 12 a.m. Monday morning, and it will close the following Sunday night at 11:59 p.m., okay? So once it opens, you can submit it anytime you want to. You can take the exam, take the final anytime you want to, okay? So it's not like you gotta wait until Sunday night to do it because it's due Sunday night, all right? If you know what's going on, heck, get it done, all right? So this is the reason why I have to wait until everybody submits it, and then, or after the due date, before I can get it graded. So if everybody hands in the lab work, I'll grade it, get it back to you right away, okay? Exam, same thing. If everybody's done, I don't really have to wait until the due date. I can go ahead and go in and confirm the grades and everything else for you, okay? And then any communication, so email, Canvas message, and stuff like that, text message, I typically get back to you within 24 hours. Now, I'm gonna say this, if I don't reply to you, I would say within 24 hours, you know what? How about if I put it this way? If I don't respond to you within 10 hours, let's even make it 6 hours, feel free to message me again. I don't think of it as nagging, because I know myself, I know that I am a type of person that tends to see it, get distracted, and then forget. So please don't feel like that you're nagging me. I'd rather that you nag me than me forgetting, okay? So feel free to nag as much as you want. And if I'm going to reply to you, at least I would say, hey, I'm in town right now. I'll let you know, or, you know, contact me in an hour. And then I will respond from there, okay? I tend to not like to text or do anything while I'm driving. Here's the breakdown of your grades for your final grades. Communication, so Canvas inbox is the same as Canvas message. So one of the things I'm gonna suggest, one of the apps I'm gonna suggest that you download to your phone is Canvas for Students. And it's a red button, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's gonna be down here a little bit. And that acts just like a text message. So when you do the inbox here, yeah, you can take a picture and then put it on your computer and then drag it into it as an attachment, or you can just use your phone and just take a picture and then send it to me. And anything that you send to me, question-wise, that is a problem that you're stuck on or you couldn't do, I need two things from you. Number one, what is the question? Number two, what work have you shown so far? Okay, because I want to know where you're going right and where you're going wrong, so I can help you think through it. so that you know what to do next time, okay? Text message, same thing. And then if you want to Zoom with me, you're welcome to Zoom with me anytime you want to. However, you gotta get a hold of me first, because when you go into Zoom, it's not like I'm just on the other side going, hi. So it's not that way. But this is my personal meeting ID. So if you and I can contact each other, we agree, hey, and I told you I'm gonna be on, then this will be the meeting ID number that you put in, which is exactly my cell phone number, okay? You can email me. Keep your eye on announcements. I'm going to try to keep you guys up to date with announcements as well. Mostly what I've been doing is through Canvas Message and messaging the whole class. And typically I message the whole class, especially when it's a reminder of sorts, or I send a file of sorts. Typically it is to the whole class. I don't usually message just one person unless it's a reply to that person, okay? Okay, so there's technologies, apps, and other websites that you might want to think about. So here's the, some of the required stuff: your computer, which is your desktop or your laptop, an external cam. You can probably get one around $30. It looks like the standard for Proctorio for an external webcam is pretty low, and external webcam these days isn't a bad thing to have anyways. And then some kind of internet, obviously. And then here's your calculator choices. This is on the syllabus, okay? But you don't need this unless you're on a STEM track, meaning like, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which stands for STEM. I can't remember what M stood for. So then you should get this. If you're not, the TI-30XS is more than enough. I like this calculator because it actually displays radicals as radicals, fractions as fractions. It actually looks like a fraction. And that's $15 to $20, depending on where you get it. So, so if you want to save some money, here's where you can save some money. These apps right here are all free. If you have not used Google Chrome as your web browser, might as well download it, because you're going to need it for MyLabs Plus, and you're going to need it for Proctorio, okay? So you might as well download Google Chrome. And I think it's a better web browser anyways. It's a more stable web browser, I think, at least for your laptop, for your phone, for your tablet as well. Here is the Canvas for Students. That's what it looks like. Here's Zoom, and notice how I told you which platform to even put it under. So your phone should have all these, your tablet should have all these, and some of these you can't get for your computer. Test mode. So test mode is another way of, test mode is actually, Desmo is basically a calculator. It has, you can choose between a 4-function calculator, a scientific, or a graphing calculator, all within that one app. The reason why it's test mode is because you can use it during an exam, and when you go into test mode, it shuts everything else down. It stops all your notifications, it stops your phone calls coming in. It's basically like airplane mode that's turned on automatically through this, and a timer starts. So if you were to say, oh my goodness, I need to check something really quick, and you click out of it and you get rid of test mode and bring it back, it will restart that timer. So when that happens, your exam is pretty much a 0. All right, that just tells me that you got out of that app to look something else up, and therefore your exam is a 0. So you're welcome to use test mode, but you got to be very disciplined on going, while I'm taking this exam, I can't get out of test mode. I have to stay within test mode. And then at the end of the exam, you're going to have to show your webcam what is the time on there when you ended that test mode. Because if you took an hour exam and you show an hour, then you're good to go. If you took an exam for an hour and that shows 30 minutes, then your exam is going to be a 0. Okay? So it's up to you. If you want to save money, that's a way to save money, basically $15, $20. OneDrive, another great app. OneDrive is nice because OneDrive is something that you guys all have as students. It's a cloud-based environment that you can save your files to. And on the mobile app, it has a camera where you can actually scan your documents and upload it to, upload it to Canvas so that you can actually use that as a scanner and scan your documents. It actually does a really nice job of telling you where the corners are. You can adjust it. You can add more sheets on there if you wanted to, or just do single ones. But I would tell you, if you're submitting something to me, multiple pages, put it as one big document. So OneDrive is a great app to have on your phone, because at least that way you can take scanned paper, especially if you don't have a printer or don't have a printer with a scanner. More importantly, OneDrive would be a great one to go with. I'm still thinking about this Remind app. It's kind of like Microsoft Teams, but it's a lot easier of putting a class together, where Microsoft Teams at this time with FSW, we can't put a team together. So not at this time. So I might be using Remind. So if you get an invite from me, chances are it's going to be from Remind, and just join it, and that is going to go into a class. Like I said, it's like a text message anyways. So it'll be, just put that app with your text message, and then you can get those notifications as well. Khan Academy is a great site to kind of get another perspective of how things are taught. And then there's a link to my website. So if you're on YouTube, which I'm already on, so let's just start another page here, and let's say I go to youtube.com. Let me see if I'm still logged in here. Oh, see, it says sign in. So if you type in Professor Chan, no G, you'll see this cute little baby Yoda. That's moi. Okay? You click on it. You can hit playlist. And you guys are in 1033, so that's intermediate algebra. View full playlist. And you will see every single lesson in here. Okay, every single lesson. So you might even want to go through here. Now, this is an hour long. You might want to break it down to 2 or 3 parts of the video. It explains everything as well. The only thing that's kind of off kilter will be that was a video for the summer class. So it was shrunk to 12 weeks rather than 15, 16 weeks. Okay, so they had a little less time than you guys did, but it explains a lot of different things in there. So that is something that you're welcome to do. And like I said, all the lessons are in here as well. All right. So, and then it tells you about the access code. Notice how I cross off a textbook, because it's not really a textbook that you need. Is $100.75. And there is a e-textbook within that program. And you can purchase it 2 ways, either through the bookstore or fsw.mylabsplus.com. And when you type this in, I would tell you to type this in rather than do a Google search for it. And here's the reason why. Because when you get, I gotta log out anyways. Because you wanna make sure that you see the FSW logo, okay? If you see a different school's logo, that means you're trying to log in to another school's MyLabs Plus, which is not going to work, obviously, because you're not a student there, okay? So make sure that our logo, that FSW logo is there, and then hit sign in. As of right now, what you guys are gonna have, because right now it's inactive, is gonna open up Monday morning. And it's gonna look something like this right now, okay? So I'm gonna show you what this past summer looks like. So you're gonna see your assignments, and you're also gonna see in your grade book here, you're gonna see your homework average, okay? And what's gonna happen is that after every single exam, I'm gonna transfer all the homework grade over to Canvas, which will also have your lab work grade, your exam grade, and everything else, so you'll know your actual standing at that point in time after each exam, okay? Cool? All right, so as you're in this course, obviously you're gonna click next here, and it's gonna show you the syllabus. and the textbook information. And it's going to tell you, hey, this is all you need, right? Now, syllabus, if you click on it, you're going to get this right here, all right? And this is your syllabus, all right? There's some good information on it, and you're going to have a quiz on the syllabus. It's called syllabus quiz. I know, ingenious of naming everything. So here's another way of registering with MyLabsPlus. And then you're going to have an attendance verification. What attendance verification is that I have to confirm with records and registration that yes, Susie Q and John Doe and Jane Doe have been attending my class. Okay, you have about a week to get this done. So your first week is going to be very busy because you have 5 things to do here. You got to get the first homework assignment done in MyLabsPlus, which is right here. You have student meet proctoral tutorial that you have to go through as a whole like mini course of proctoral. You got things that you have to download, which one of them is going to be this little gray shield right here, which is an extension for Google for proctoral. And then you're going to take a proctoral quiz. You're going to, you know, sign honor code acknowledgement, and then you're going to have a syllabus quiz. Okay, so where do you get those things? So the first thing is going to be here in MyLabsPlus. It says MyLabsPlus. Your second thing is going to come from in your modules. If you scroll down, oops, right here. Okay, so we started right here. We got to here, and then you still got to go through all of these too. And I would tell you to go ahead and go through it. It's not, you know, just take the key informations out of there. Most of the stuff you're going to already know. But here's attendance verification. You got the honor code, the syllabus quiz, that you have to get to 100%. This is the so-called mini course, right? And it's going to basically kind of walk you through what RoomScan is about, what kind of IDs you can use to download the gray shield, which is the proctoral shield, so that this way, whenever you need help, you hit the proctoral shield and they will be there. It's like this is rubbing the lamp for the genie, okay? And then you're gonna take the proctoral quiz. And I wanna forewarn you right now, I'm gonna grade this proctoral quiz, even though if it's just 15 points, I'm gonna grade it as if you're taking an exam. And the reason why I'm putting it at that standard is because I don't want you to pass this and then you do something wrong during the exam, meaning the RoomScan and everything prior to it. If you do any of those things wrong, you're gonna lose percentages. You're gonna fail that exam just because of that. So I don't want that to happen to you. I want your grade to be your grade. I don't want to take away because it's some other third-party thing that is required that you didn't do. Okay, so I'm gonna have this as a limited attempts. Okay, until you see this. Let me see here. Until you see this, so you're gonna see this type of submission, right? Proctoral practice quiz, right? Remotely proctored. That means going through proctoral. There's your section number. Your name will show up here, and until you see whatever grade you get, chances are the number of times you take it, you're going to get a 15 out of 15. But more importantly, you're going to get the good to go. Now, if it's not 15 out of 15, if you got 15 out of 15 when you left, and then you go back to check, and I'm going to have this assignment comment here, and this turns back to a 0, that means I probably have a comment here saying, you forgot this, all right? You forgot that, right? And please, it's gonna sound like I'm nagging and I'm nitpicking, but the problem is that if I don't, then it's gonna end up where you're gonna suffer during the exams, and I don't want that to happen, okay? So once I see, ooh, everything looks good, then I'm gonna put down good to go. And then if you get kind of stuck, you're like, I don't understand, because I'll tell you this right now. People think that this is a room scan. That's not a room scan. That is a what's to the left, what's to the right of me. That's it, okay? The problem is that there's a whole other lot of things that you guys haven't thought about that could happen that we don't want happen anymore, okay? For example, I could have a bunch of Post-it notes on my hand right here. And notice that right now, you don't see my hand at all. okay? And I'm actually going back and forth on the edge of my laptop and you don't realize it, okay? So I could be putting Post-it notes right here and you will have no clue, even right here, like almost covering my whole page before I get to the center. So a lot of those things could happen that we wanna make sure it doesn't happen, okay? And then when but the reason why I put the syllabus quiz there is because one of the questions is gonna be about Proctorio and the webcam. So, you know, if you pay attention to that, chances are you're gonna be like, oh, these are the things I have to have within that webcam. So you're gonna kind of see it. And this is the reason why we need an external and not internal, because internal, you could be posting a lot of Post-it notes here and we would never know, especially if we're gonna do a room scan and you're not gonna see those certain things, all right? And then if I see majority of you guys can't do a room scan worth anything, then I would do a video on, hey, this is how we do a room scan, okay? So we will go through that as best we can, all right? So now again, I repeat, the webcam is school required, especially the School of Peer and Applied Sciences. That means all your science classes that is using Proctorio is going to require a webcam, external webcam. All the math classes that use Proctorio will require an external webcam, okay? Understand that. I want you to understand that, okay? Next, what to expect during the first week, and then what to expect the rest of the weeks. So first week is gonna be really, really busy for you because you gotta register for My Life Plus. You need to do the attendance verification, which I would tell you this right now. I did the Proctorio quiz because I went through a course that I had to do that. And I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be cake, 5 minutes. 3 hours later, I was still working on it, okay? So one of the things with Proctorio that I'm going to suggest is this. After you do, you know, honor code, you know, the syllabus quiz, and do this tutorial, and then when you're getting ready to do the Proctorio quiz, so, you know, obviously your ratio is already up, I would close all these tabs up. I would close all these programs out, restart your computer, and then just open Google Chrome. And just keep the one tab and then log in from there. And you're gonna end up with 2 tabs and then you're gonna end up closing the other tab out. So you're only allowed 1 window, 1 tab, 1 monitor, okay? And what happens with the reboot of your computer is that it resets the RAM, and the Proctorio uses the RAM quite a bit. So it might go way down and everything slows down. And what's gonna happen is it might kick you out of that quiz. If it kicks you out of that quiz, then you click on that gray shield saying, hey, I wasn't done. And well, that would be in the chat. So, hey, I wasn't done. And then they will chit chat with you and then get you back into that quiz. So make sure, that's what I would tell you to do. Before you take any exam, before you take any quiz on Canvas through Proctorio, shut everything down. Close everything, quit everything, turn it off, turn it back on, only open the Google Chrome and only log into Canvas and then get to that quiz, which will open up Proctorio, okay? So first week, register with My Life Plus, the attendance verification, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the first homework. So 5 things that has to be done, okay? So not just that, so that's really, let me see, 5 things, 6 things. So that's already 6 things right there, right? My Life Plus, and then with the attendance verification, there's 5 things, all right? And then on top of that, this is the rest. So this is on top of what you would expect on a traditional week. So what my expectation on a traditional week that you're gonna have to include with these 6 things is going to be this. Excuse me. So when you come down here, week 1 looks like this. You're just gonna have to add those 6 things with this. So you'll always have a lab work. every single week. This one is locked. What it will be is it will be a sheet. It'll be a PDF sheet of paper, 2 to 3 pages, multiple choice, 10 questions, and it'll have directions on there. So as a professor, I need to do 2 things. One is to be able to test you online. Second is to be able to know if you actually understand everything that's going on. You're able to explain to me how to do certain problems a certain way. Because some problems, let's say, so one of the prime example is quadratic equations, right? Quadratic equations, there's actually 3 ways I'm going to teach you how to do quadratic equations, right? And the sad part is that all 3 of them, all 3 methods has to be understood and known and able to be done. So I want you to understand that. So this way, if you see on the on the lab work, oh, I need to, let's say, do it the one method, then you actually have to show that method. Okay. So if you follow the directions, you'll be just fine. All right. So let me see here if I could. If there's any way to show you what a lab work might look like. I'll just use this. Okay, so this might be what lab work will like. So this is lab work 7. Okay, so you have 10 problems. Okay, so I have the answer key. You guys will not have the answer key. So you'll have to do these 10 problems on a separate sheet of paper. On a separate sheet of paper, neatly and orderly, meaning I should have number 1 and then number 2 and then number 3. So you might have to just scribble scrabble the first time through and then recopy it on the second time through. Okay, I showed you guys what it's supposed to look like, so make sure that you're doing that. And then what else is there? Oh, and again, it's on a separate sheet of paper. I'm going to, at the end when it's due, I'm going to use a Google number generator, and I'm going to generate a number, and then I'm going to grade that particular problem. Okay, so let's say my Google generator picked number 2. So I would look at number 2, and it says multiply, divide as indicated. Great, pretty simple. I'm going to grade your work to see if it's good, and then obviously the right answer. It's going to be out of 10 points, and if it's good, then you get a 10 out of 10. You could have got the other 9 wrong, and you only got this 1 right, and you got it. Okay, you could have only done 2 problems, and because I picked number 2, you're good to go too. And you could have got the, didn't do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got lucky. Okay, but you only did 9, but you didn't do 10, and the generator picked 10. Then you could have got all 9 right, and because you didn't do number 10, then it's wrong. All right. So, but again, if you wanted to check your stuff, just let me know, and I'll send you the answer key after the due date so that you can actually check your stuff and say, hey, what did I do wrong here? So you can actually ask those questions as well. All right. So let's get back here. So then, again, the lab work is open on Monday, the 24th that you saw, and it's going to be due the 30th at midnight or 11:59. It's going to be due. You're going to have to submit it. Okay. So that's part of the expectation for the week. The other part of the expectation is this: when you get here, right? Because if I go in here, my first assignment is 3.1. So you're going to have to come over here. So you should have a Canvas page open and MATLAB Plus open at the same time. Okay. I might even put on 2 different windows so I can just toggle back and forth on which one. So you can click on the notes. When you click on the notes here, it'll download. I'll upload it. I'll bring it up here. So these notes right here correspond to the video right here. Okay. And this way you can, if you wanted to, a good idea may be that you print this out, put on your notebook, and as you're watching this video, you are going to write some notes down going, ooh, I think he means this. Oh, I think he means this. Oh, I think he means this. All right. Now, for the ones that understand English really well, you should be good to go. But obviously, we have a bunch of students that are not necessarily English fluent, like my parents aren't at all, right? So they might say, I'm not really understanding this. So they might try to go on YouTube and search for a Chinese version of this, to explain this. So I'm going to tell you about 2 apps to think about when this is the case. And one is called Microsoft Translator, okay? So the icon actually, the logo actually looks like this, okay? It's called Microsoft Translator. And the other is called Google Translator. And the logo looks exactly like this. They're both great. They're both wonderful, okay? So what happens is, the nice part is that with Microsoft Translator, you have a choice of, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this in the small window, you're gonna have the choice of speaking, having a conversation, typing it, or even taking a picture of it. The picture thing is awesome because my parents at home in upstate New York would have Chinese writings, on their screen because they have Chinese channels, obviously, duh. So if I didn't understand it, I could use the camera, and when I go and put it on there with the camera, it writes what each of those Chinese characters mean, even if it's in different locations, okay? Now, using the mic is kind of cool because what I can do is, I'll show you. Let's go back to here and actually listen to this. So I can hit the microphone.
All right, so today we're talking about graphing equations, all right? So on a coordinate system. So typically, when we draw a graph, we always have an x-axis, which we label with just x. That's called the x-axis. And we also...
So it's listening to me talk on YouTube while it's translating to Chinese, so I can actually watch that as I'm going. How cool is that? I can change the language to Spanish if I want to, okay? So let's...
also have it labeled Y for the y-axis. The x-axis is this line over here. This horizontal line right here is your x-axis.
Hold on. I'm taking too long to speak.
All right, so today we're talking about graphing equations, all right? So on a coordinate system. So typically, when we draw a graph, we always have an x-axis, which we label with just x. That's called the x-axis. And we also have it labeled Y for the y.
So if you notice that on the very top, well, you probably can't see because it's such a small window. The very top, it shows the English scribe on there, and then below it, it translated to Spanish. Okay, so that's the thing I love about this, about Microsoft Translator, because it's on your phone. So while I'm talking, you can actually just hit the mic and it'll listen and it'll translate for you. The other cool part is that if I play this, so I went to Google Translator and I could click on it, and over here has a mic as well, okay? So I'm having English to Spanish. So let's say I come over here, I hit play.
All right, so today we're talking about graphing equations, all right? So on a coordinate system. So typically, when we draw a graph, we always have an x-axis, which we label with just x. That's called the x-axis. And we also have it labeled Y for the y-axis. The x-axis.
So if you notice, oops, pause. So if you notice, it again, same thing, right? It scribed down the English, and then also translate it to Spanish. And obviously there's other languages as well. Obviously I don't want, there's a whole lot of different languages here that it can translate to. So I want you guys to understand that you have different varieties. If you feel more comfortable to kind of get it translated, I'm sure that the direct translation, not exact, but I'm sure it's pretty close. And I'm sure that the translator didn't understand every single word I said. As I'm doing more and more live lectures, I'm trying to speak a little better so that it can actually pick it up for me. So that's something that, again, so part of the, what I expect from you to do in a traditional week is to watch the video. And if you want the transcript, you can go to Kaltura, which is where this video is. These two videos, exactly the same, just two different platforms. This is through YouTube and this is through Kaltura, okay? And then you will come over here after you finish 3.1 and do the 3.1 homework, okay? And then you'll go to next here, and you'll go to 3.2. And you'll do these notes with this video, and then go here and do 3.2, okay? So that is my expectation for the week, except on the first week, it's gonna be a little bit tougher. Let me see here, let me go back to the module so you guys can see. Still loading, okay. So here's week one. So this is everything I expect in week one, traditionally, okay? But week one also includes the 6 things that you have to do, right? Which is register with MyLabsPlus and the 5 things you need to do for attendance verification, right? So these 6 things here and these 5 things here. So week one, really, really busy. So please get it done, all right? And then obviously it looks like everything is gonna be due basically on August 30th, which is that Sunday, okay? So week one is gonna be really busy. But once you get past week one and get that proctoral quiz done, the proctoral quiz is probably gonna be the toughest thing right there, okay? The biggest hurdle. So if the proctoral part is going to kind of push into week two, I'm gonna be okay still. But look at where the first exam is, okay? And this is not gonna be in class, this is actually gonna be proctoral. So week two, now you're gonna sit here going, wait a minute, I see 2 lab works here. I thought you said 1 lab work each week. It is. So week two, you're actually gonna do the lab work and these 4 homework assignments, okay? In the middle of the week, I'm gonna open up these 2 as well. This is really for the following week. I wanted to open up in week 2 so that you can start reviewing for exam 1 and get the lab work started for exam 1 as well, because lab work can be good review. The review is a good review. And then when you get to the 3rd week, you're gonna have to do the lab work, the review, and the exam, okay? And the exam, again, same thing. So if these open up on the Wednesday of week 2, you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to be ready for the exam on Monday when it comes out. But same thing, if you happen to fall behind, good news is the exam is gonna be open for the whole week, okay? So if you're not ready and you're like, oh, I'm so behind, I really gotta kind of get caught up, that's fine, right? So you could wait for the lab work and the review to be started on Sunday night, Monday morning, and then do lab work, do review, and then go, okay, now I'm ready for the exam on Thursday, or I'm ready for exam on Friday, or I'm ready for exam on Saturday, or I'm ready for exam on Sunday. However, understand this. Understand this. Please do not send me a message, a text on Sunday night and saying, oh, I can't take the exam. Something happened today. I got a flat tire. I can't make it home. I believe in planning for the worst, hoping for the best, meaning this. If you have an opportunity Wednesday night to take it and you were ready, you're like, nah, just wait till Sunday night. Well, that's your fault, not mine, okay? So my reply to you would be, if I'm not sleeping, will be, I'm sorry, okay? And so please understand that. And you might get into a jam where it says, hey, passcode, I need a passcode. I don't set the passcode in the exams. Proctorio does, okay? Proctorio does. So if anything, again, the Gray Shield will assist you, okay? So first week, not too bad, 5 things, and then the other 6. So really 10 things, 5 things, 6 things, 11 things you gotta get done for week 1. But after week 1, everything comes down, where it slows everything down. So it's like 5 things that you have to do the rest of the other weeks as we're going, okay? Because really out of those 11 things on the first week, most of them was gonna take you like 2 minutes, all right? And the homework assignment isn't ridiculously hard, but those are things that you have to get done. Let me see what else is there. All right, so again, just a reminder, every assignment that's assigned in Canvas, meaning lab work, exams, final exams, reviews. Actually, I don't really grade the reviews, just so you guys know, but I suggest that you do them. So lab work, exams, and final exams. It's going to be open for a week, always, okay? It's not gonna be like, okay, I'm opening something, you got 2 days. It's always gonna be open for a week. Opens Monday, at midnight, meaning 12 a.m. Monday morning, to Sunday evening at 11:59, okay? So I hope that this helps you kind of do an overview of the course of what's expected from you. And again, you're supposed to be learning from the Canvas and then also through MyLabs Plus, all right? If you need help, let me know. Ask the questions that you need to ask. I don't have a problem helping you. The only issue is that you're not gonna be live in class with me, all right? However, if you really wanted to, there might be a chance that, let's say a couple weeks go by, and you're like, man, I'm really struggling to kind of stay afloat. If you wanted to come to a class via Zoom, I do have some classes via Zoom that you can come to, but I can't allow some of my seats to be taken in class, because if all my students in my live flex class want to be in class, they have to kind of share the room also. So I can't really allow that to happen. But if you want to Zoom in live with the rest of them, I don't see a problem with that. I should be able to host, you know, with social distancing and everything else with more people. So just let me know what you guys want to do and how I can help you guys, and just let me know. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye.